Media in Europe excitedly crowed about the Volkswagen ID3's new base model price being so much cheaper than what it was before. However, it's still 40% more expensive than the exact same model in China. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Electric Viking. Fantastic to see you. Thank you for tuning into the channel. Thanks for your support, liking the videos, commenting, and subscribing. Last month, European media were all over the new, updated base model Volkswagen ID3 because the price came down significantly. They said electric vehicle buyers interested in the Volkswagen ID3 that were put off by its high price tag now have a cheaper version to choose from. Isn't it wonderful? The eye-catching electric car now starts at £31,000. Now, this model is cheaper than what it was before, which is good. The cost-cutting exercise, though, centers around a cheaper 45 kilowatt hour powertrain called Pure Performance. It has 148 horsepower, a little bit anemic in my view, but 310 newton meters, which is excellent, which delivers a decent 0 to 62 mile per hour time of 8.9 seconds. Forget that, it's slow. And a top speed of 99 miles per hour, which is fine for both models. Now, Volkswagen claims the worldwide harmonized light vehicle test procedure WLTP range for the city trim is 217 miles, while the style trim is 215 miles, a 2-mile difference just based around the wheel choice. Now, you can, of course, pay more for your ID3 to get a bigger battery pack. It also comes with a 58 kilowatt hour battery pack and a more expensive, again, 77 kilowatt hour battery pack. Now, the Volkswagen ID3 actually is an impressive car. It's built on a purpose-built electric vehicle platform, unlike many of its European competitors, which are built on ICE car platforms and have significant compromises. Now, just a few days ago, the Volkswagen ID3 went on sale in China. That makes it the third ID model to be sold in China alongside the ID.4 and the ID.6. Yeah, 6. Now, the ID.3 is a compact 2-seat sedan with a lower starting price than the ID.4 and the ID.6, of course, it's smaller, built by SAIC for Volkswagen in China. Now, if you don't know, if you want to sell cars in China, you have to have a joint venture partner who actually builds them for you. So Volkswagen doesn't build the cars in China. SAIC, a Chinese state-owned company, builds them. Except if you're Tesla. If you're Tesla, you can build your own cars. That's fine, because we want to have employees work for you and gain knowledge which we can share around our Chinese automotive industry. So what are the price? Well, the base model price for exactly the same model in China as what you get in Europe and the rest of the world is $25,000 US. So to put this in context, this is all before subsidy prices, by the way. This is ignoring subsidies because that murkies the water a little bit. So, price in the UK, $42,650 US after the exchange rate has been applied. $42,650 US. The price in the Netherlands is $37,250, and the price in Germany, Volkswagen's homeland, is $37,000 US. And the price in China for the same model is $25,000, or around 40% cheaper. Why? Why is this the case? Well, I'll get to that in a second. Well, the ID3 has a length of 4,261 millimeters, a width of 1,778 millimeters, and a height of 1,568 millimeters. And it has a wheelbase of 2.765 or 2,765 millimeters, which is slightly narrower than the versions offered by Volkswagen in foreign markets. But pretty close. The overall weight of the car, it's quite heavy. It's 1,760 kilos. Heavier than a Tesla Model 3, which is quite a bit bigger. Now, the ID.3 is powered by a rear-mounted drive motor with a maximum power of 125 kilowatt and a peak torque of 310 newton meters. So, what about the battery pack? As far as I can figure out from China, the battery pack in this base model, all right, is 57.3 kilowatt hours, and it is a lithium ternary pack, so probably an NCA chemistry, nickel, cobalt, and aluminium, more than likely, or NCM, nickel, cobalt, and manganese. But in China, you get the 57 kilowatt hour battery pack, whereas in Europe, you get the 44 kilowatt hour battery pack. So not only is it 40% cheaper, it also has a far greater battery pack, giving it a massively better range of 430 kilometers. So you could really say it's about half the price in China. Why is this? Well, let's have a look at that size again. 4.26 meters, 1.77 meters wide, 1.57 meters high, with a wheelbase of 2.765 meters. The BYD EA1 Dolphin is just a little bit smaller than that, but it has a similar size wheelbase because it has a smaller bonnet. Therefore, it actually has similar interior dimensions to the Volkswagen ID.3. Now, if you weren't aware, BYD is the most vertically integrated car company on the planet, and it's very likely they will become the world's second largest battery manufacturer. They're currently in third place this year. The Dolphin was actually designed by former Audi design chief who is now the global design director at BYD. So the base model BYD Dolphin, not all that different to an ID.3, costs $14,000 US. If you want to get a bigger battery pack, you can pay a bit more, and it's about $17,000 US. Depending on spec, you can even go bigger again and get to up to $20,000 US. But as you can see, that price from BYD is quite a lot less than the ID.3. So of course, there is enormous competition in China for electric cars. BYD is not the only competitor for the ID.3 in China. In fact, they probably have about 50 different competitors, to be fair. China is the world's toughest market to compete in. Absolutely, there is no one even close when it comes to this crazy market for electric cars in China. So what does that mean? Well, it means Volkswagen has to lower their price. Otherwise, they're simply not going to get the sales that they need to make this vehicle a success. And just to justify even having a production line, they need to sell this car in high numbers. So why is the price so much more expensive in Europe if they're basically selling the same car but with a smaller battery pack? Well, the truth is, the majority of Volkswagen's ID.3 vehicles are actually made in China. Some of the parts are made in other countries, but a lot of it's made in China. It's then shipped to Germany, where the vehicles are assembled. So essentially that means that it's called a made in Germany car. Obviously, this adds to the price significantly. In China, most of the products going into this vehicle are actually in China and don't need to be shipped halfway across the world and then assembled into the final product. Obviously, Chinese labour is a fair bit cheaper than European labour, and Chinese factories are also much cheaper and more efficient than European ones. Believe it or not, that is the current state that we're in the automotive industry. Why? Like I said before, the Chinese EV market, the Chinese car market is incredibly competitive. If you don't lift your game, you simply go out of business. So, what does this mean? This means, well, Herbert Diess, CEO of Volkswagen, is very concerned about Volkswagen and probably most of the European car market being disrupted by Tesla and by Chinese car makers. In fact, he said as much himself to his 200 top managers in a meeting last week. Why will they be disrupted? Well, because BYD can simply start shipping their cars to Europe and sell them at a 20% markup and still be nearly half the cost of an equivalent vehicle in Europe. Let's add some shipping tax, some shipping costs, and still 30% cheaper. And BYD and other car companies from China, such as Aura, and even Xpeng with their P5, can significantly undercut the competitors in Europe and take away massive market share within a very short period of time. Now, just imagine how much easier it will be for these Chinese competitors who are fighting tooth and nail for sales in China, the most difficult market in the world because of the massive number of competitors there, to just start selling their cars in Europe to buyers desperate for EVs who simply can't get one right now at a price that they can afford. If you haven't watched my channel before, you'll know that I reported on all these kinds of dynamics and all these kinds of issues going on right now globally in the car market, and how China is about to disrupt the global car market very, very big in a very scary way that people are just not ready for and are not seeing. I'll put some links in the description to some of these videos that I've made that people have enjoyed the most about the other Chinese companies that I haven't mentioned in this video. And if you want to, you can click on those and learn more about exactly what is going to happen over the next 10 years to the global automotive industry. It's going to be crazy in good and not so good ways, depending on how you look at it. The good way is, the good news is, for the consumer, they'll have access to electric vehicles at a lower cost than what ICE cars currently cost now worldwide. Whatever car you just bought, or whatever car you want to buy, something similar will be available within 5 years in your country that is fully electric for less money. I guarantee it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, to like, and have a great day. Stay awesome. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.